Alrighty. So yeah, there are a variety of spells that I think are interesting. Obviously Macropire, we've discussed so far this series, and in the previous series, really strong spell. Rolling Boulder, they've got the Ravage, they've got the Chronosphere, which like you were talking about now. But I think there's a lot of like those kind of like low level or mid level spells which have like just massively increased in value because of the heroes here. So like Impale, Ice Path, Shield Crash, Axe Call.
I don't know. I wouldn't call them mid-tier or low level. I think there's lots of high-tier spells. There's Infernal Blade against tanky strength heroes. There's Time Lock.
Yeah.
There's Rage, Anchor Smash, Counter Helix, Berserker's Call.
I just mean there's no like S tier certain like super spells that like you're like, oh my god, we have to have that. Okay, this is interesting. Kraken.
Since it's in the pool and we can talk about it here, what do you guys think about the whole controversy of Scorched Earth not working with Infest? Should it or should it not work?
I mean, it should because all the other stuff does.
I agree, but
yeah, I'm surprised that we didn't see the Infernal Blade game picked on Jakira.
But like, did they really want someone else to take that? Yeah, if you're melee, great, you get in, you get one punch or that kind of thing. It's almost like it's kind of guaranteed to come back to one of them, right? I don't want to say that.
Oh, well.
Well, this is what I was saying. I think there's such high, like in the, maybe not overall in all AD games, but I think in this hero pool, hero model pool, with spell pool, I think that Time Walk, Rage, Infernal Blade, Ravage, okay, Kraken Shell is just an overall good spell, but I think those are just such high value, and that's why they're all being first picked. But now you don't have to worry about like Time Walk Berserker's Call, so you have to block pick Berserker's Call, and you have double pick, so you can go Call Helix. Which is pretty nice for the tide.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying that this is a draft where there's no like Ricky ulti, there's no Reincarn, there's no Slark ulti, there's no Spectre Dispersion, Tombstone, Borrowed Sight, like those sort of like those spells that we always think are like Aftershock, 50, 54, 55% win rate.
Sure, but if they're not here, why does it matter?
I just think
you look at a pool of hero models and hero spells, and you're thinking, what can I pick? And not, I wish I had this, right?
That's true. I just think that those spells that like, although the spells that are there have moved up in priority because of the lack of these top tier spells. Some of the spells have just like skyrocketed up, like Like I really think Shield Crash is a excellent pick here by Rob. It's a mediocre spell. It's not really a priority spell.
I think it's an exceptional spell.
Okay, maybe that's just a difference in opinion. I mean, most of the time, like in terms of pick priority, it's normally like average pick 24. So that's like third phase, halfway down, and here it's being picked up 1.5 phases in.
Like any spell that creates a change in experience or knowledge of a player, like just damage resistance, stage resistance, damage resistance, magic amp, all this kind of stuff. Anything that does that is of immediate value to like higher tier players and teams, I think.
Does Swashbuckle work with Hammer of Purity? That doesn't work, right? It's just
no, it doesn't. I tried that.
But Time Lock. Oh, but there is Time Lock. There is Time Lock available.
Time Lock could work, but it's again a damn range bug, right? So he's got to make sure that he doesn't take his range extender.
Or he gets the Javelin, right? That still works, doesn't it?
No, like the problem with the way the Time Lock bug is that if you start it outside of a range, it will be an issue. So I'm even wondering now with the jump in, like the way that's going to work, it's going to be outside of the range when it starts, so it may not even bash properly with the Swashbuckle.
Wait, so can you explain this bug with range time lock? I'm not sure I understand.
It's complicated, but essentially, like if you start from far away and go to attack someone with a range time lock like that, it will not proc at all, period. Like 0% chance. You'll actually probably see this if he gets the actual range ability on the talent here. But if you are starting the attack from close, as in, you get in, I can't remember the exact range, but it's fairly close in reality. So you see maybe he will time walk in very close and then start attacking, and then swashbuckle out, which because he started attacking early or close in, it will then carry out past the original range.
Is that a recent thing? Because I feel like I remember time lock being fine on ranged heroes just
It's not
Like-
a relatively recent thing. I think it's been in now for many, many months, but I think it was
Okay.
November 1 that introduced the problem with that. But
Interesting.
it is a weird bug and very hard to explain to people.
So what do we see coming out here? We have one ultimate left.
I
What
love
do we
this
think we're
fish
gonna see
build.
here?
I love this. He immediately picked up Spike Carapace with rolling. I love that. It's so much fun. I've had it so many times in the past. In fact, he also has Scorch Earth and Purification. It just brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah, and
we
Fish
see
is a
Fisk
great
here?
rolling Thunder player.
Chrono?
Like every time I can get it, he takes it.
Guardian Angel, wow.
And no one takes Chrono this game.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that earlier in terms of like, even if Dire picks it up, it's really just going to benefit like one, maybe two additional heroes there because the Shadow Demon could be outside of it. But then what are you really pumping into there?
Macropire, set up for
Macropire.
Ravage. You got range right click from
Well,
Shadow
but then you're
Demon. Two
giving up
heroes in the
one of
Chrono
those
hitting.
potential ults as well. Like someone's got to take the Chrono, right?
I would give up Culling Blade for Chrono, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's a classic Rob spell. But also, don't you get the oh, that's not actually Culling Blade. So yeah, welcome everyone who is just tuning in. Game number 2, it's 1-0. Currently favoring Maslyata. They're on the Dire side this time. And we're going to be seeing No Jungle trying to equalize the score, turn his best of 5 into a best of 1. Otherwise, Maslyata will be on the hill and just need one remaining game after this if this is a W for them.
Well, based on that initial sort of draft there, the Radiant versus the Dire, who are you guys sort of favoring here?
I like the Radiance draft a lot more. Like looking at both the raw quality of spells and the synergies. But I do have to say that the Defenseless Void has got a very strong build, and I like the team fights that the Dire have. They have Ravage into Macropire, which just makes a lot of sense. And they also have Doom on the Shadow Demon, which is able to, so they can disrupt someone and then also Doom another one. It really is able to turn the tide of a lot of these fights.
It's like Radiant, all of their team fight is on the Lifestealer. It's Fish or bust, basically. So whenever No Jungle wants to fight, it's going to have to be around Lifestealer. Whereas Dire can fight with pretty much anyone, right? They've got Ravage Stun on the Nyx. They've got Doom Disruption Ice Path. You've got Disruption Ice Path set up into stun Shadow Demons, so you can start fights on individual targets or bigger team fights himself. You'll have Blink Call on this Tide Hunter, right? Yeah. Because they did all swap. All 5 of the Dire swapped. And looking around thinking, hang on a second.
Swapped, so, yep. You have no idea who's who. You gotta double check. It's okay.
Triple
Lens,
check.
I like Lens going to Demonic Purge. Really strong, I think. And they also, I mean, okay, a little bit of a skirmish going to start with here. Just a disruption coming out. But yeah, I really do like the utility spells on the Radiant side. They have Guardian for big team fights. They have the Track, and we've already discussed Fish. He's the team fight CCR. I think there's also a lot of pressure on Fastest this game because he does have Anchor Smash to farm. He's going to be harassing the Void as much as possible, and then he turns into this ganking team fighter with Vendetta and Hunter in the Night later on. So I think he has to get a lot of work done.
I'm not sure about Team Fighter. His
Maybe
build
just
kind of
ganker?
looks like one of those builds that does well in laning phase and then doesn't do anything the rest of the game, right? He doesn't have a slow or a stun. He can't start a team fight. He's going to be a body and a tanky one at that with some decent attack speed. But I feel like often when your position 3 is a right clicker, like a physical right clicker, you can have difficulties if your other heroes don't have that catch and team fight ability to make up for it.
That might be true, but I think he's just going to be so scary and farmed at the 15-minute mark if the laning stage goes well that he will be able to just run it. You know, he won't have the slow or whatever he might need, but he will be running super fast with Hunter in the Night, and he'll have maybe one item on top of that. Just going to try to terrorize the supports, I guess. Or do you think even that will be too hard, given the fact that we have things like Heavenly Grace?
I think he'll definitely be able to bully them. Killing them might be a bit difficult because there's, you know, double, triple stuns on this next assassin. Shadow Demon's got a couple of stuns and a save. So the heroes he wants to go on have abilities to counteract that. Ginseng is still level 1 bottom, so he doesn't have the combo yet. Now he's just getting right-clicked down by Lenska and Blop. First blood incoming. The high fives. Come on. Blop wants it. Lenska wants it. Blop, give him the high five, please.
Let's hit the overlay RGB. Let's
sorry.
render it up.
I completely forgot.
It's all good. It takes time to render.
I mean, the crippling fear is going to do work there. Say they're going to like stun and do all this kind of stuff. If he can run them down the crippling fear after the vendetta initial hit, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, if they're alone. But like if the Nyx and Shadow Demon are playing together, which they should be later on in the game anyway, then you're going to have that layered support saving the other one, turning around with Disruption or Impale or Ravage or whatever.
Yeah, if they're ever alone though, they're just done.
I do like Ginseng's build, but I think it exemplifies what you're talking about with that crippling fear. Because if you don't have a way to silence and you get on top of him, and he just disrupts you and then ice past you, and you're never going to catch up to him like that. So I think the crippling fear was actually like a critical pick on the side of him. Oh, Rob, taking a little bit of damage, throwing out a Hammer of Purity. And here comes the dual breath. No Kraken shell, remember? Gets hunted down by Block.
Yeah, no stick, no Ring of Health. Went for the double bracer. Thought he was tanky enough.
And he's going Vanguard straight. I actually was in a game where I was playing a core, not axe, but I had a very similar draft to what Rob has here. And then I had the axe combo of Berserker's Call, Counter Helix, and I had something else, and he basically his guidance to me was go Vanguard and go cut the wave, and that's all you do. Doesn't matter how many times they come try kill you. Like,
yeah, it's like we've been saying previously, right? Sometimes you just have a skill or two skills which makes you play like the hero they come from. And if you have spin and call, or if you just have spin, you buy Vanguard and cut wave like a normal axe does.
I think he was Venomance in that game, and we just like stood behind and we started putting out like a ward empire. And we took the tower very early. But this lane has not started off well for Rob. He's died once. His support has died once. And Blop is 2-0-0. No shit tips coming out though. Blop is keeping it all clean for this game.
He's only 13 CS though, so like the kills have come at the price of his farm rate being lowered.
Mm-hmm.
It's being made up the fact that, you know, like you've been saying, this Night Stalker with Anchor Smash against a melee core, he's top of the charts at 29 last hits.
But Blop is also...
that mid lane is like a massive difference starting to be created between Tauntaun and Piggy. Tauntaun farming small camp, but Piggy just out farming in the lane.
This is something I've actually been saying for quite a while. It's like, it seems that Tauntaun is playing... Like, this is not really, in my eyes, a Tauntaun draft. He likes spellcaster heavy, nuke heavy, aggressive, running around and do stuff. But in the last couple of games, it's not really been the way he's controlled the game. He's played... in the previous series, he played the Axis build, where he was struggling in the laning stage, which is not, normally he's the one who wants to dominate the lane, and his team will sacrifice everything to make that happen. So, I don't know. Tale of two Tauntauns.
There's definitely a big difference between Tauntaun with a blink or Tauntaun with rearm and other Tauntaun, right?
Yeah, that's true. A tale of two Tauntauns. I'm going to repeat my joke. Oh, awful joke.
Nyx. Good fairy fire. Probably going to keep him. Oh no. Oh no. He didn't turn and stun. He turned and then turned and then turned and died.
Yeah, so this I think is like, obviously we're in nighttime. We have a point in Hunter in the night. But this to me is like, this is not when I was saying I think that this Night Stalker is going to be scary. I think that's the next nighttime. But even then that could be delayed if the lane starts going bad, or if the other lanes are so bad he can't even gank in. Speaking of bad, or Rob is going to escape by his chinny chin chin.
Yeah, Ginseng's so good at saving people. Like, you can just disrupt an enemy, disrupt an ally, ice path a couple of people. Might die with a gush slow and Blop's killing blow. Rob trying to put damage onto Lenska under tower. They're baiting him. And here comes Piggy. Gets himself the cold armor.
Here's Johnny. And Piggy's gone back to the mid lane. Doesn't want Tonton to have any opportunity.
There's a long TP from Ginseng to refill the bottle, though. And there's a weird fight in this top jungle. Nyx has been kind of roaming around with his ward already out seeing Fish, and the Fish is trying to chase him. And they're trying to find... Fish is trying to find a place to place his observer ward without being spotted. But I think the Nyx has got a pretty solid idea of where that's gone. Or does he think he's moved back? Like, when he sees the Lifestealer with no obs in his inventory, he's going to know for sure.
I think he'll put it high ground on the spot, yeah, and maybe that won't...
No, he finds it.
You're right. So I was gonna ask you actually, do you think it's a mistake that Blop doesn't have like an orb of venom or something? But it just seems like it's not necessary most of the time. Either Ginseng resets the fights or they get the kill.
No, I think if he had orb of venom, he's like tripling down on stuff they already have, right? They have Gush, dual breath. You don't need orb of venom in that kind of lane.
Oh, Fish getting gone on by Piggy here in the top lane. A little bit of a shield crash, bouncy. And he does have spike carapace, but maybe it's... Just want to pop that as of yet. You're going to be running away. And Faustus is moving to number 1 in the last hits department.
What is it?
Really
250 pure damage, right? So we should be able to kill Fish now. Oh,
Piggy.
But no jungler here in support. And Piggy, he's got one fairy fire and a good ice path from Ginseng to slow Tonton down. They missed the impale. Now retreat time. They want to try and kill off Fish. He's got the culling blade to finish him off. Now Piggy and this Nyx assassin get back to the high ground, disengage. Lenska's getting baited a little bit here, but they do finish off that Nyx with a final bit of damage out of the dual breath. And Tonton swashbuckling around is no joke with an arcane rune.
Yeah, this is scary stuff.
Has anyone noticed that he hasn't bashed yet?
No. There it is.
Yep,
Bashed on a creep.
Really, really close to bash there. He won't ever bash with the swashbuckle when he's diving away like that.
Oh, wait, is Lenska surviving this? He came in to like contest the ancients, and he's found a hidey hole in the trees. I really thought that 3 heroes there would chase him and kill him, but somehow the Pango just gets out of their reach.
He does throw down a ward which gets countered immediately though, and this has provided some room top lane for our trusty offlane duo Faustus and Fish to put some more pressure on the tower here. I don't think it'll take the fall now, but maybe we will see. Okay, Axe coming up to stop it.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a question of, are Radiant's 2 carries better than the 1 carry in the Void plus the team fight they've got behind them with the rest of the heroes? I'm not sure Piggy's going to have... I do know for sure Piggy's not going to have as good a game as he did in game 1, right? That Earth Spirit was pretty baller. Because he's not struggled, but it's not an easy route to victory with this Axe build. But going on plot bottom, I'll just chain the stuns on him. Yeah, he's a tanky Omni Knight with bracers and wand. Rob's going to get in front of him and just keep slapping with this Hammer of Purity. But yeah, Blop Krakenshell just level 1 enough to get himself away from 3 heroes.
I don't know how early you were watching, but there was like a hilarious battle between Rob and Blop to see who would last hit or deny the tower. And because Rob kept pump faking it, Blop waited, and that's what made all the time for the supports to come in for Maslyata. Dual breath. Looks like they're gonna go on Lenska, taking a lot of damage with pops that rage, and in the Shadow Walk. Sneaky little devil.
Rage invis, see ya.
Oh, Spike Carapace. He has the Gush. Blop doesn't have a lot of HP though, so they want to make this kill and get out, I think. And yeah, Blop is about to finish off his Echo Saber.
Wait, did Lenska reward the same place?
And I don't know. It looks like his the same cosmetic for the ward.
Did it? But there was a ward there that got killed, and then there was a new ward there, right? I'm not going mad.
Yes. And then they're both, I think, got the hand ward.
Both in the same spot. That's weird.
Unless Fish has the same.
Dark time to smoke. Rob's going to clear out ancients. They're moving into mid for Tonton.
I think Fish placed the second one because he's also looks like he has the hand ward. Yeah. Doom. Oh, here comes Fish with the bouncy. Piggy's gonna maybe get thrown up. Yeah, he's gonna tank a lot of tower. And Tonton's gonna die. They could have possibly denied him. Piggy's taking a lot of damage though. One more hit. Nice ice path coming out by Ginseng, but it's not enough. They get the track onto the next assassin as well. And what is Fish gonna try to do here? Is he gonna try to get in front? They retrack after the nice dispel. I think he might be out of there. He got no more slows.
They really need this Rob Blink dagger. Like double bracer Vanguard, okay. Yeah, you feel decent. You're still dying to this Blop Omni though. And you don't have the Blink initiation that you kind of need to catch the Radiant.
So we haven't spoken about the Festus Void almost at all this game. He has Devour and then 2 Nyx passives and Dark Ascension. So any thoughts or prayers on that matter?
I mean, he has Devour, right? That's
Well,
pretty much it. He hits Crepe. He's gonna outscale, but you know, I said a couple of minutes ago, it's gonna be 2 Radiant cores against the Dire's single core, basically in this Faceless Void. So it's all gonna come down to the control they bring with Ravage, Ice Path, and what Piggy can do with this tanky build where he jumps in and soaks up spells for him. Like Void has to come in second wave, basically. He can't be the one that gets gone on.
Also, I want to say one thing about Void, quite unusual in an AD game, but he's got no ability except the or Shard upgrades. He is not going to benefit from those type of consumables this game. So he is not that far away from being like fully kitted out as you might think. You know, he is farming very fast, but he's going to reach that plateau much faster than anyone else.
And there's also the kind of weirdness of him having Dark Ascension and Night Stalker having the Hunter in the Night, right? Like you becoming stronger makes the Night Stalker stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's part of the reason why he just hasn't put any points into it. I mean, he's got 0.1 now, but until recently he hadn't put any in, right? I think it was 0.
A good chain stunning mid. Finds the dunk for Piggy onto Fish. And they really want this tier 1 tower middle lane. I don't think the Radiant are really in position to defend. Blop doesn't have a TP from bottom. Faustus, still during the daytime, has 30 seconds to go. But they are not fully committing for that mid tower. They're going back into the jungle to try and help Rob against Lenska here. A bit of a journey into the forest. Piggy picks up his 3rd cold armor stack of the game. And Tonton just has to bail. Oh, another ice path off the disruption mid. A Doom chucked on to Faustus, and Faceless Void suddenly hits the wall of the Guardian Angel, which Jakiro brings to the table.
They also have a Glyph still on the Radiant side. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't use it earlier, but there is an opportunity now. Here comes that Dark Ascension.
The Ravage does clip Blop and Faustus, so Ice Path chain stuns him, but the Faceless Void just dying. So Rolling Thunder Swashbuckle on the left-hand side of the fight. AD Dog gonna have to try and run away from the Scorched Earth. Well, another disruption. Ginseng finds Faustus. Rob can't cast any spells, though, inside the Crippling Fear, so no Berserker's Call and no Hammer of Purity. Dire now on the run. Piggy has the shield crash to disengage, but Lenska's got the slows. They've got the tracks to chase and keep on going. Nyx Assassin holds them back for another second as Rob calls up Faustus Night Stalker. But Fish, Blop can arrive on the scene to carapace and slap him. There should be a big hit from Blop, but he doesn't go for it. Didn't want to dive under the tower. Now he gets turned on. They're just back and forth, poking and prodding until finally they get the takedown and the dunk on the Omni Knight. That's the big kill. And the Dire come out ahead in an extended team fight where it looked like nobody was dying.
I would not have taken any odds that in this team fight, no one dies except Blop. Like that was, you know, they were doing some really good zoning on both sides in having like a little side skirmish. But Blop wasn't taking damage, and all of a sudden it comes together, and just somehow Blop goes too deep.
A little bit of miscommunication there in terms of like he just walked down that hill and 5 heroes he knew was there. He didn't
I
have the
think he
team
just said-
right behind him, then he's in trouble.
I think he has he backed himself a little bit too much to work with Kraken Shell. Oh, disruption coming out. Piggy's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the saves on him, though. Oh, my God. The Heavenly Grace. Their heals and saves onto Piggy.
I don't know if you saw, but Fish is on the rollback. Fish didn't bounce into him once again.
Faustus with a Vendetta hit. Ginseng, Disruption, Ice Path, Lenska, and Tonton going to finish him off with... No, the damage over time gets stopped. Dispelled off by this Heavenly Grace. The saves, I mean, this is it, right? Sure, you might be able to catch them and try and poke them, but if there's that save behind them, you have to expend so much just to look for this one support kill, and now you're putting yourself in danger. Faustus nearly dying. Tonton diving, time walking back out of his aggressive swashbuckle. He's going to try and carapace to stop them, but a good Ravage. Next Assassin catches the 2 that they need. And another Culling Blade slapped down from Piggy, picking it up to 5 stacks now. And the chase towards the rest of them. Lenska Rage TPs. No bashes, no stuns, nothing here for the Void to cancel it. So that should bring it to a close.
Yeah, is that the 3rd team fight now where it seems like Radiant make all the good players to start and then they absolutely get outplayed towards the end. They do so much good work, they get in such a good position, and then they kind of throw it all away.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of weird concepts in Dota where, like, you know that you should be pressing forward and you know that you can get these kills, but as soon as you miss out on that, like the first opportunity, you have to kind of reset and mentally think, okay, if we go a step further forward here, there's X chance we get a kill, but if we reset, there's a greater chance because we are in position and ready to go again, rather than being this kind of spread out, sporadic, weird team fights.
So I can tell you that Rob got picked off by Piggy and Ginseng, and in the mid lane, Rob thought he was doing a good job pressuring the tower, but he just got bounced over and over by a Fish. Made enough time for Faustus to get in and make the kill. So it's 9-9 after 19 minutes, 1k gold advantage or less. Absolute nail biter of a game. I guess fewer kills than we've seen so far in the tournament. Some of the games have been like 2 kills per minute. Here we're seeing half a kill a minute. I mean, a kill a minute. But overall, it's been like a lot of the fights people have got out by the hair on their chinny chin. And let's have a look at the net worth. It is not that far between the Nightstalker and the Void, although one has to say that there's a big difference in opinions in the spells here. Oh, Tonton getting
Oh, he didn't get the culling kill, did he? Just off.
He's got 9 armor at the moment. Pretty nifty.
Next Assassin's also setting up for top with Ginseng chain stunning the Nightstalker. Do they bring enough damage though? The call can't come out because of the crippling fear. They do dust that Invis Vendetta Nightstalker, but catching him is a different matter, especially if you don't quite land the ice path.
And meanwhile, we're going to see them try going Fishy in the bot lane, but he has a ward.
And they turn on top. Demonic Purge and the Vendetta hit. The 2 supports do get picked. In comes Rob and he misses his call. Faustus and Lenska outplaying them this time.
Fuel Breath on Ginseng. Does have all his spells reset though.
Not sure what Tonton was swashing there.
I think he wanted the illusion rune, but he didn't say something. So meanwhile, Faustus getting gone on top.
Rob with a 2-man. Call on top. Nightstalker, Pango taking a beating from the axe, and he should come out of the silence soon enough. And Infernal Blade doing so much against this Nightstalker, allowing for the Culling Blade.
Yeah, Rob does something good, and Radiant's able to capitalize.
How many blade spells are there in the game? Like, if this axe had Culling Blade, Infernal Blade, Witch Blade, Shadow Blade?
I mean, that's not a spell, but I'll allow it. Side Blades, Blade Dance, Laguna Blade.
So there's too many.
Yeah.
Fish will get the roll off. defensively, though, and there's no one here to really follow up on it. So Roshan easily claimed by the Dire team. Radiant nowhere near in position. Blop and Tauntaun both farming bottom jungle. So now they, relinquish control of Triangle. Mid-tier one's going to die pretty quickly. And Dire have all of their teamfight ultis. Doom, Ravage. Rob just needs some mana. We'll regen back at base and probably try and move out on the map. With his big old macro pyre. How close are we to BKBs? Blop's not going for one. That's worrying. Faustus, correct. Going BKB. Good, good.
Yeah, it seems
just
like
the fact they have Ravage, you know, that's I think that's often enough to buy BKB. Ravage, Ice Path, time dilation's annoying.
that's true, but I do want to say that Rob is pure damage man, or like BKB piercing man. First of all, has counter helix as pure damage. He has call, which works through BKB, and he has macro pyre, which when you get the Ags, which is what he's going for, it does pure damage.
So BKB, I think there's often a misconception about what BKB is for. If you want to stop magic damage, you buy Hood. If you want to stop being stunned, you buy BKB. Like majority of the time, you buy BKB just so that you want to cast your spells and you want to do damage, and BKB allows you to do that. If you're stunned and chain disabled by like Impale, Ravage, that's,
you can't fight.
You know, let's say you're disrupted, Ice Path, Nick stunned, Ravage. That's like 10 seconds to disable. You die, and if you don't die, that's 10 seconds where you're not doing damage or casting spells.
And that's critical to start off a fight, because the team that makes the first kill is often the winner of the team fights. They're the ones who get that off. Oh, nice carapace. Yeah, it looks like Fish is gonna die. But yeah, what I was saying more is like there's a lot of utility in terms of being able to like BKB TP, and it just so happens that Dire have one of the heroes that can like totally counter that type of play. Sure, you could see something else come out on him if they wanted to be able to tank more spells, but
he clips him, and they'll jump as well. Night Stalker gets the Guardian Angel on him, but there's so much magic and pure damage. Lenska has to rage TP, and they doom him. They stop his escape. 4 heroes surrounding the poor little Pango. Gets the high five on his way out, though.
Yep.
This is where the game becomes incredibly difficult for no jungle. Like, okay, the Dire just spent 3 ultis, but they've killed 2 of you. They're holding Aegis. They're pressing forward. They're not as reliant on their ulti cooldowns when they're holding Aegis and they've got this, overfarmed Faceless Void, right? If we were looking at this game and the Faceless Void was even in farm with the Night Stalker or the Omni Knight, we probably wouldn't be as afraid. But due to Devour and Mom and his Mjolnir, he's going to completely outscale the Radiant team.
nice little Doom.
Fish wants to go. They want to fight. Disruption stops his roll, though. And with that Ice Path, the Faceless Void is going to try to start to open up on him. Carapace is annoying. Damage not coming through fast enough. And now the Void's going to lose his Aegis. Where's the backup? Rob has Blink Call ready, but Fish is looking to try and cancel it with a Scorched Earth, and the roll doesn't quite connect. So in comes Rob with a call. Gets them all inside of it. The Faceless Void will try and lifesteal and get saved by the bubble. Disruption's there to buy the time to turn on to Blop as Rob makes the play of the game.
Rob definitely being a superstar, but I have to say these Ice Paths, these players, they get Blop as well. These Ice Paths by Ginseng are doing a huge amount of damage in these team fights, just controlling up everyone. The disruption as well, able to save, he attack, he protect, same time, same place. Ginseng's playing like an absolute demon, but in that individual moment, Rob went from 0 to hero. Oh, TPing in here. Here comes Fish. What's happening?
I'm not sure. But he's not going to die, so that's a bonus. I think he could quite easily have just TP'd in and died there.
He popped Carapace as he got disrupted, which is kind of funny, I guess.
Good stun from Nyx. but with Demonic Purge on him, can't force staff away. And now it's going to be round 2 for Dire. All ultis back up and ready. All the ones that matter anyway.
I'm going to have a quick look at the gold graph that we see here. I mean, at 13 minutes or so, it was pretty close. It was dead even. Here we are. It's 10 more minutes, and we've seen like in the 13 minutes since, we've seen like 1,000 gold per minute advantage going to die away. So it was super close, and then whoopsie. And Radiants are looking to try connect here on Rob. Oh,
Tauntaun missing the swash, but they've got enough anyway.
Tauntaun's items have kind of stagnated. I mean, he had the Maelstrom pretty early, and obviously the Boots Bottle and like one component of the Ags, but finishing off Ags, it just seems like it's taking so long. So what do we see coming out for the cause here? Lop has finished off his Skull Basher, going towards the Vessel Blade. What's fastest going? He's finished off his BKB. He's really the big threat right now, I think. And then on the Dire side, versus Void, looking very scary. BKB to take the spot of the Magic Wand. And then I don't know what his last item will be. What do you think? Butterfly? Something we've seen appear a little bit. Do we see him go Nullify?
It's a bit awkward, right? Because usually you want to disassemble Mask of Madness into Butterfly Satanic, but it doesn't really have the slots for it.
Doesn't need Satanic either necessarily, right?
I don't know. In that last fight, he kind of would have liked it. He was fortunate to be saved with a disruption, but if he had Satanic, he wouldn't necessarily need to be disrupted.
Hard to spell. I mean, also the Nyx Assassin needs to just make sure the Void survives and everything's good.
Yeah, I think the Faceless Void at this point is probably thinking, this is my last item, let's go win the game. I generally don't think he cares about next item. He cares about next team fight with BKB, win this team fight, and the game should end.
As long as he
presses it, as long as he presses BKB, he doesn't press the BKB. He dies.
Oh, and fastest moving forward here.
He got jumped far too quickly. That's great sneak attack from No Jungle.
Oh, I think they might have seen Rob on the high ground here.
Oh, he gets Carapace stun there, eh? What was that? He walked into the macro party. Carapace stun. Now Faustus opens up on him. No Jungle. Comeback time. 2 heroes dead without buyback. They bought out completely. There's no Void, no Tide.
I can imagine Fish on TeamSpeak just saying, "Hey, get fucked, Rob." Can see that something he was planning in his head. And is this a lane of Rax? First lane of Rax being taken by No Jungle?
Why is Fish a Cockney child in your head?
Oh, because that's just the way Fish is. And they're gonna take 2 lanes of Rax?
Yeah, why not? At this point, just go for the throat. Like both the big things are down, right?
Oh,
he's the only other one.
A nice Ravage as well. They've got a Doom on Jakiro, so no more swashbuckles. They've killed Faustus. This is a 3v5 fight with the big ultis that the Dire had, and that's always the threat. Piggy will come in, look to try and finish off Tauntaun. Doesn't have mana for the dunk, but he'll get this double kill and continue his streak yet again. Fish forced to roll away, and Lenska with the Rage TP should successfully escape. But yeah, a 3v5, defending your top lane, only losing 1 lane of Rax off of 2 very big kills from the Radiant. That's got to really halt that momentum which you would have expected to finish off the top lane.
And I don't know if you saw, but it looked very much like Fish was trying to get the deny on Tauntaun there. That's why he was running. He always could escape. He always had Spike Carapace, Rolling Thunder, but he was trying to save Tauntaun with the Purification, and when it seemed Tauntaun was doomed, he tried to go for the deny. But they didn't lose Blop, did they? And I think Blop, when he gets Overwhelming Blink, actually becomes like a real threat, because then, at nighttime at least, the Night Stalker and him can go on the backlines and can clean up the supports. I think you want to kill Ginseng. Like, if you can kill Ginseng and the Nyx Assassin before anything happens, that's absolutely incredible. I mean, obviously you would like to take out the Void, but the Void was, like, it's very rare that the Void's in such a bad position and can't pop his BKB.
It just feels like one of those things, again, where you think about the last 15 minutes and how the game's been going, what we've been talking about. And Faustus is the only one with BKB. Now, Jakiro is going Lincoln's next to try and stop the Doom and disruption and stuff like that landing on him. But, if 3 of your cores run in and try and take a tier 3 or take a fight, and only one of them has BKB, he's not going to get ravaged, but the others are going to get ravaged, and the one with BKB is going to get focused. You think about how, like, Naga Siren Song used to be used against Lifestealer, as an example. Lifestealer would raid, you would song everyone else and focus the Lifestealer. And that's kind of what the Dire are just doing and being allowed to do, because Night Stalker is the only one that bothered to buy a BKB. Everyone else gets ravaged, they throw a Doom on someone else, they focus Night Stalker, that's highest net worth on Radiant, highest damage potential on Radiant, gone.
Alright, so let's take a moment to talk about this Omni Knight, right? Has Kraken Shell in his head thinking Kraken Shell plus, plus the toolkit that he has, he's got the vision from track, he's going to be able to blink in and Abyssal Blade someone. Do you think there's a world in which it's justifiable he doesn't have BKB, or do you think it's in every case that he doesn't have BKB, it's wrong?
Like, how to start this? Like, there's so many variables, right? I don't think it is in every case wrong, but I think with this item set where he's gone Echo Saber Blink, I think it's wrong.
Okay.
If he had, for example, gone Halberd Blink or something, then maybe he can get away with it because he can disarm the Void, right? He can stop some of the damage source coming towards him, or he has evasion against the Void.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can think about delaying Blink until, third item, fourth item. But going Echo, Blink, Abyssal, Overwhelming Blink with no hood, no BKB, no real defensive tool on your team. Like, who's saving him? There's no disruption. There's no Glimmer Cape or anything, right? You've got Wraith Pact, and that's pretty much it.
I mean, there's Guardian Angel, we'll say. But
True.
for me, the ideal fights in the Radiant's mind is that they have good vision. They're able to go on and kill the Shadow Demon before he does anything. And his build is designed in a way that he can blink and Abyssal Blade. And the only way that can be stopped is if Rob counters that, by going in with a big call. That's the only way. Or Ravage,
if he doesn't. But that's the thing, though, right? If he doesn't have BKB, then the build he is going is useless. Because if he blink jumps the Shadow Demon, your Abyssal Blade the Shadow Demon, there's then Impale, there's Ravage, there's a Void, there's a Magrippie, a Blink Call, there's Shield Crack. There's ways to deal with him as long as they're in position.
You have to blow that Shadow Demon up.
So you have
before
built
anything happens, and it's
that's
too
the
hard.
thing. You are then relying on your opponents to make mistakes for your build to work, which is kind of inherently bad. They'll try to go on Rob here. They'll get the call off. They do make this jump onto the Tidehunter, but in the back, this Piggy Axe is trying to clear up and force them away. Losing Rob, though. Dire team turn onto Faustus now, and this is the target they desperately require a kill on. The big damage dealer gone on the Radiant team, while Piggy is slain by Tauntaun and Blob.
Oh, I didn't actually notice this, but there's after this fight, let's break it down a bit. Are they looking to disengage? It's been Faustus for 2, and the Faceless Void is still alive. One thing I want to say is probably one of the best spells in the game, criminally underrated, Demonic Purge. We have an Ags up on the Pangalia. So he gets 3 charges that cool down every 60 seconds. And in this kind of game, we're having these massive team fights that are delayed, and then there's a big gap between the next one. Being able to get 3 Demonic Purges off is absolutely incredible. You cast it on the Faceless Void, destroys him. You cast it on the Axe, who cares about the fact that he has BKB and he's in the front line? So I have to say, I think that this is an excellent item choice. I mean, almost a forced item choice given the fact that he has Demonic Purge, but really a team fight, maker or breaker.
Yeah, it pairs up well with like Rolling Thunder, and it gives Blop then the opportunity to stick onto someone. Because they can't take these head-on 5v5 fights. They've got to split, they've got to kite, they've got to move around, and Demonic Purge allows them to do that really nicely.
In that last fight, the Axe came in and was huge. Pop BKB, I thought, wow, this is going to be trouble. And he just got purged, and he did nothing. He ended up dying. Did like 1,000 damage. And Fish scouting out the rush. He's got the Wraith Pact.
I don't think you want to try and start Roshan here.
Yeah, I mean, the gold advantage has come back down. It is possible for either side to rush, but I agree with you. I think it's more important that you prevent the enemy from rushing and just control the area from both sides. They'd rather make it all about the next fight. They'd rather back their ability to make a successful smoke gank. And speaking of that, there's lots of arrows drawn towards the bottom lane. Tonton could be in a little bit of trouble here if he pushes out this wave one more. Goes. Oh, I think he's got a TP out, and it looks like he's hiding in the trees. Ha ha.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
And they're still running towards him here. Do they
If that
know where
smoke
he
breaks. Oh, it's close. Rob, this Tide and Nick's got close to their smoke being broken.
Does this open up the rush pit?
They
I still
scan,
think
so
they
they
just
know
go
that
in and-
there's no one there.
I don't know. Going in and starting this is so risky. Like, Dire can still move into position, and they're the ones with the advantage in these choke points.
Piggy reveals middle, and so does the Void. So they
Shadow
know where
TP
least
top.
They know what's happening, and Shadow Demon is a real pest when it comes to fighting in the rush pits.
Dunk the courier? Ah, I just hit it.
Do you get cold armor for that? You don't, right?
No, it's
not
just heroes. Should just be heroes.
Well, here's an interesting thing. We were saying neither team really wants to rush unless it's guaranteed. But now Rush is on half HP, and here comes the Macro Pyre inside.
No, Radiant absolutely can't. Dire for sure can. They're the ones with the team fight advantage. They want to go in Roche. I mean, Fish is doing a decent job forcing BKBs early and controlling them. So now the Radiant have a pretty good opportunity to come back in for round 2 post BKBs. Faceless Void still in the pit though and finishing off Roshan. Mjolnir static charge zapping people around the pit as well, and Lenska's walked into this. Jump called by Rob. The Ravage is there for the Nyx as he full staffed into the back lines too. Blop, he's been stunned up, but Faustus comes in with a nice crippling fear. Does get the heal out as well, but the doomed Omni Knight, Blop being focused, and Faceless Void holding this Aegis, playing without a fear in the world as they've split it completely again. Faustus gonna dodge the call with his BKB and move speed. And it's scrappy stuff as his Faceless Void doesn't really want to turn and fight. The carapace up Fish life stealer, but he will get the job done now. Nullifies and slays. Tonton has to jump away with the swashbuckle. And the Dire team coming out ahead, just edging further and further towards victory as the Macropyre and damage onto Faustus should finish him off and tick him down. And inside the pit, the Jakiro, what's he up to? He's being pushed around by the circlet, the psychic headband. Nullified. And in comes the ice path. He should get brought down here by this Faceless Void. And Maslyata, a massive victory around the Roche pit. But yeah, like, it is absolutely in their, in their game plan, in their roadmap, right, is to go Roshan. Whether or not the enemy's doing it, they want to go in the pit and fight around it.
Yeah, they want. I agree they wanted to go in, but what it kind of made it forced them to go in is the fact Rosh is on half HP. All you do is you drop down the Macropyre and you've got the Rosh guaranteed. So Radiant opened the door for them, really. And Ginseng here. Going to be catching up Blop. Blop's taking a little bit of damage. Kraken Shell pops.
Time dilation. Slowing him as well.
And this looks like the tier 2 tower could fall.
Faceless Void really having slot issues.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean,
he's bought Nullifier, Boots of Travel. He sold his mom.
Hey, he's selling your mom. What? Incredible.
What else did he get rid of? He was 6 slotted, right? It's just his treads and his Mask of Madness, isn't it? And Boots of Travel and backpack.
Yeah, but he is going for an Abyssal Blade, I guess, over the S and Y. Or maybe the Maelstrom? I mean, a Mjolnir? But he can also still buy the shard.
Just go in the Aegis slot.
Oh, so you think he's going no boots and he only swaps those in when he wants to TP?
Oh, they can give him spider legs. So yeah, I think so.
He doesn't have any other, he doesn't have mobility items beyond that.
You've got a Yasha item. Like Yasha plus spider legs is enough for him, I think.
He doesn't have buyback. I think the most important drop down to look at right now is just the buyback status. We don't have buyback on the Void, the Jakiro. Lens will have, I think, in a few more seconds. So will the last healer and the buyback that came out on the next assassin. So he's the longest and furthest away. But Void actually is farming pretty well. So unless he dies in the next minute or so. And here we go. Some wards being placed high ground. Those will be spotted out, pinged out. And Maximus trying to push the top lane. I think he's like a very reasonable hero to do this. Does have BKB. It does have the Vendetta. And he comes in here, takes the tower. Are we gonna see a panic here? Who's gonna TP? Who's gonna blink first? It's gonna be one of the cores, Rob, coming back. And maybe this is the go time. Let's go in the mid lane. Blop goes in onto the
jumping the void though. He's got Aegis BKB. Now you've spent your Rolling Thunder. Your Omni Knight's doomed. Piggy's on the front lines and he's found Tauntaun. And the Ravage is there for the Nyx Assassin, clipping onto two of them. Faustus does TP back and tried to battle back. But Lenska's dunked and finished off quickly by Piggy. Disruption saving that Nyx Assassin from danger as well, while the Faceless Void is all flying around with his Dark Ascension. And now Rob's arrived again, so they defend top, they come back. They still have this Blink Call Macropire to continue the fight and push high ground if they want to.
I mean, it could have been worse, but I think maybe, possibly, trading Doom for Void BKB is okay. Am I crazy?
Sorry, again, what?
They traded, so they lost the Pango, who has buyback, but they got the BKB, and they got the Doom.
Yeah, and the Ravage, but they spent a lot themselves as well. Killing Piggy here, though, pretty important. Disruption buys a bit of time, and Blink in from Rob gets the call onto a couple of them, and yeah, Piggy, he gets himself out of there with a Blink Dagger away, but Rob has to give his life to save his axe, it looks like.
Oh, they caught Ginseng as well. Fish is doing a little bit of a bouncy here on him. Oh, the bash.
The ranged bash, time lock kicks in. High ground defended.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's like because they didn't kill a core, it seemed good. You know, like they lost Fish and they lost Lensk. That's it. And this provides an opportunity for Radiant to take a second lane of Rax, or at least force 2 buybacks as well. So there's no glyph, right? Because they've used glyph already, but you're gonna play cautious. Fastest gonna be popping his BKB.
The Blink Call. They've caught him. And Lenska and Blop, they're thinking about coming back in to defend him, but he's stuck. Macropod, Ice Path dead. Disruption now catching in onto Blop, who does blink away. But Battle Hunger and the jump in from this Nyx Assassin, Piggy and Void on the chase as well. Slow him and catch him. Nullified and hit with Infernal Blade. And now you've got 2 cores dead on the Radiant team that probably need to buy back themselves in a sec.
All that good work that they did got kind of like thrown away by that series of plays there. I'm gonna have a sip of beer after that. Like that was a disheartening move by the No Jungle team.
It's a lot of time for the ultis to come back off cooldown as well for the Dire, so they just have to push out these lanes and get back towards Radiant base. 1 minute minimum for Roshan to respawn. So if Dire can make sure the bottom lane is pushed to like the river, and they hold Radiant Triangle, they can actually keep mid and top wave from reaching their base, which are the 2 open lanes. So it's kind of ideal that mid and top are the 2 barracks that were taken from Dire's perspective, you know. Yeah. If they would want to lose any barracks in this kind of situation, it's those 2, so they can protect them by playing aggressively. They do not have Aegis on the Faceless Void anymore, so now he's been purged and broken. Might have to consider the BKB pretty early on here, but he's just going in behind tier 3s and focusing Fish, trying to get rid of this Rolling Thunder pest and threat, and Fish about to be dunked on, but he did get the carapace to stun up Piggy, while Rob has blinked and called into the Pango. Lenska, he's dying inside the Macropire as that Time Walk Time Lock combo with the Aghanims and the Shard does a little bit of work, but now he's staring down the barrel of this Maslyata gun, and it's 5 versus 3. with Ravage, Blink, Force, Ravage still ready. So we'll just watch this Nyx Assassin, basically. It's all up to this Nyx to finish the game. And Roshan's about to spawn as well. Oh, this fast timer is so good for the Dire. If they could just scout it, send someone back, find the Roshan.
4 seconds and the courier just flies over, but maybe Piggy will check it out. He is a diligent player, but is he that diligent? No, he wants to get back to the fight.
The push is more important. They've got, like the Nyx is saying, I've got Ravage. Why are we doing anything other than pushing? Just go high ground, team fight them. We've got the numbers advantage. We know they don't have buybacks. They've not used them. Tauntaun's going to play back and forth with that reversal time walk.
I think they have to just give up the racks here and wait for their supports to respawn. If they lose a core here with no buyback, they could be in trouble.
Well, the blink call blop and he's down to half HP. Nyx Assassin silenced there. He gets the Ravage off, but Faustus already BKB'd and Blop got away from it. So a bit of a whiff there from the Nyx Assassin, but it still allows them to take the full top lane of barracks.
And they also put the mid tower at under a third HP. Yeah, so the thing is, as this game goes on, is there something that this Void can do to become even stronger? I mean, other than 60-minute items, or is this it? Is this where we're gonna get?
Moonshard?
Oh yeah, I didn't actually see it. It doesn't have the shard.
But that is pretty much it. Like you were saying 30 minutes ago, he's got no Ags, no shard. He might be dying here. Doesn't have the BKB off cooldown. Needs his team to help him and break him out of this chain stun. And it's good work from Piggy.
Oh,
and
disruption.
now Ginseng with a disruption. Ice Path holds Faustus in place and they get off the Dark Ascension. Shadow Blade? No, it's not. It's the Trickster's Cloak. He's invis, hidden away and slipping out of the reach of Faustus. But there's the Gleipnir catch. They tag onto the Void, but he's still alive. Piggy dies and buys back. The Void now battling into this Night Stalker. Doesn't have a lifesteal item, but somehow he's surviving and just being healed up.
They're still fighting well on the backlines here. They did sacrifice Tauntaun though. And
this feast is so powerful. Like, he's feasting on these tanky strength heroes. Even Jakiro with, hefty HP getting feasted upon, and now a dunk catches Lensk on the way out. Yet again, no jungler wants to make the move that looked good to begin with, but getting outplayed, out-executed, kited across that jungle. Three different directions. 2 heroes went left, 2 went top right. Faustus chasing another one, and they kept that Void alive so long.
And yeah, Omni Knights has 5,500 gold and 0 BKBs. Yeah, Bracer is just taunting us. Do you think Blop thinks he can press the Bracer enough times and it gives him magic immunity? Dire move into the rush pits?
Where's his BKB, man?
Maybe we can.
Can I all chat him? I'm not gonna get fired. I don't care about this. Blop, please.
I'm
not in the lobby. I'm not in the lobby. I can't talk. Right, Steam chat. Please buy BKB.
It's like we're not in a lobby.
God damn it.
I'm trying to find the correct chat on. Here we go. Hashtag prize pool. We need to get one going. Hashtag BKB pool. Hashtag go fund BKB. We need to get this type of stuff going in here. But those commands don't exist, and because they don't exist within Blop's mind, I guess. Void taking down the second set of racks. Bot is exposed. No outer towers remaining for either side. But I think they might play it cautious. They got the Aegis. They got the cheese.
Yeah, next fight, they want to fight under their vision. It'd be good to get like a high ground ward where they are using the gem right now. Somewhere maybe around this outpost. But the main goal for the Dire team right now is force Radiant to use BKBs. Like this. Let the Nyx die. That's fine. And then look for the next fight, maybe. No,
I mean, also, afraid. Maybe that's Blop's big plan, is to only buy the BK. Oh my Jesus, he's buying Satanic. But yeah, is to wait. I mean, I'm the person who normally people would flame for not buying BKB. That is Gareth's #1 go-to Noxville, cast your spells, where's your BKB, idiots. But this is this is one of those moments. Maybe Blop's waiting until the game is so late and so dire that when he buys the BKB, it'll be 9 seconds.
with the Faceless Void. They lose Ginseng, but it looks like they're going to find Faustus in the trade. Maybe not, with the heals arriving and Fisher's Rolling Thunder. They force the Dire back, and now Tauntaun swashbuckling forward, aiming for the Faceless Void, jumping in and out, and Fish with the chain stuns. Rolling Thunder collapses on him. A Guardian Angel to try and protect from Piggy and Rob now as well, as they swarm over them, and there's no buyback on Void. Oh, it's a 5v2. Piggy has Aegis, but I just don't know what he can do here. He dunks one, he looks for the other, and Rob's on a killing spree. Blop and Faust is dead and forced to buy back. Fish on the doorsteps of the Dire base, gone as well. But where do they go? They've got to defend their base. They can't TP back into the lanes. What? He's got boots of travel, and he's coming out here to try and fight and continue this. But he still has Aegis. You kill it once, and then what? Blink in 4 seconds for Rob with another call. Ready to jump back in, and Piggy just blinks back to his base. So more time for the Dire to reset, and now they know that Radiant Core's brought back.
But there's no Faceless Void for 60 seconds. So maybe we see 2 lanes of racks happening here. That's like the only way. But Radiant base is in trouble. Who's going to come home and save it?
No, but they've got to all in right now. And the fact that Faustus just gets doomed like that. Nyx Assassin, where is he? He's TPing out. He doesn't have a... Oh, come on, smoke. He should be smoking here, but he wants to get the gem. Blink Ravage is ready. He's biding his time and waiting for it. Piggy's baiting. They're baiting Piggy so hard. Tauntaun jumps in and out again, but the doomed Night Stalker so close to death. And there's the 2-man Ravage. Impale lands as well. Blop was hidden in the tree, so they didn't see him. Gets out of danger. Misses out on the overwhelming Blink hit. And Blop with a TP gets himself away. But now no Night Stalker for 100 seconds. Fish gone for 115. And a 5 versus 3 going to approach the Radiant base very shortly.
That was their window, and it just got slam dunked in their face. So, I mean, I guess this is normally the type of the game where we think that there's going to be a clear winner. Maybe there's a way for the back end. I think at this point, I just want to do this a little bit unusually. I want to just award the MVP of the game. Because it doesn't matter what happens for the rest of the game. We've got an MVP, and that's Ginseng. Ginseng has been literally the most frustrating and annoying person I've ever seen in a game of ability draft here. He's got the tools, but he's executed like a god. So, he's our man of the game.
No jungle aren't done just yet. They're finding the man of the game, but Rob with another big Blink call. Macropie Refresher calls again. They're all stunned and taunted and dunked upon by Piggy, who finds the double.
Doesn't matter.
This has got to be game now.
Doesn't matter.
2 minutes without your Blop Knight. Faceless Void is in your face, killing off tier 4s. And Lenska tipping Rob.
Doesn't matter. Ginseng is the player of the game. And for all of those people who hate AD gods, definitely will be enjoying this game, although I guess Rob is an AD god too, let's not forget. But seeing Blop lose is bringing a tear to many people's eyes. No jungle are not going down.
17 stacks on Axe is 51 bonus armor. Piggy with shield crash, 51 armor, just takes no physical damage whatsoever. Insane stuff.
Does Tauntaun die? Tauntaun's death the end of the revolution? Well, I can say
no jungle about to get 3-0'd in their own tournament.
Let's just say no jungle, no wins at the moment. 2 points for Maslyata. 0 for no jungle.
Yeah, that looked to be a very convincing win there.
I think both teams played very well that game. Could have gone either way. I mean, it was close for 25 minutes. Then Maslyata took the lead.
I agree, but
it depends on what you mean by convincing, right?
Accelerating away, the way the Shadow Fiend just every single time he seemed to show up, it was the right target for the Doom, Disruption, the multiple people, the Ice Path being so annoying.
Because for me, there's like a couple of types of like convincing wins. There's the stomp, you know, where you go like 30-0 and you completely convincingly demolish your opponents. But then there's games like this where it's like, but then there's games like this where it's like very close down to execution and individual outplays. Yep. And it feels like every time there was a chance for an individual outplay or a team fight execution outplay or some kind of move on the map, a smoke move where they gathered and collapsed on someone, it was always Maslyata that was having the upper hand in those situations. You know, they are the ones that are out executing, outplaying. And if they can do that so consistently, when the game is so even and things are so tense and so tight, then, you know, you can definitely say it's like convincing us that they are the better team.
Yeah, and we just saw it again and again. Like we took Rob a little bit to get rolling there, but once he did, few good blink-ins there and able to really show us the shining of the Macropyre jumping in there.
Yeah, I mean, no
We're gonna
jungle,
rename to no BKB instead of no jungle.
no jungle,
I
no
swear that
BKB.
AD players have a BKB blinder sometimes. You know, I've been guilty of it myself. Noxville was talking about it there. So, like, I swear we put
What-
on those blinders sometimes. And, you know, even the highest level players can have those blinders, I see.
Yeah, I think
What
it
do
just
you
gets to
think?
the point where, you know, in AP normal, some things transcend game mode, right? And the fact that in AP normal mode you have 3 cores buying first item BKB, that is something that transcends game mode, and you just kind of have to do it in AD, even if it feels like you shouldn't. Or in previous patches, you could get away with not doing it.
I mean, say you guys can say that. I always buy BKB when it's required. But I mean, I don't care about BKBs. Ginseng's playing that game. If there was a, you know, like some tournaments have like an award where the
How can you
all the
say that in
casting-
the same sentence, though? His play is because they didn't have BKBs. Like, he can't cast spells on them if they have BKBs. How does he disrupt and ice path them?
Oh no, I don't care. Ginseng is my MVP. That's yeah. I don't care.
You
I
can
don't care about
still
who has
have a
BKBs,
really
who
good
doesn't.
MVP because the other team didn't do what they were supposed to.
Ginseng's play before anyone could have bought the BKB was good enough to justify him being the MVP. I'm not wrong. Ginseng is a legend. And that's why our channel in this casting broadcast is called Ginseng MVP. Because Ginseng is the MVP. Let's see if he can throw this game, though. I mean, throwing for content is something AD players know all about. But normally it's Blop the one doing that, throwing for content. So it is Maslyata on the hill. 2-0. One more game they require.